Success stories, some positivity. What's happening? Anyone? I have a bucket fill. How about John Robinson putting together a giant list of builders for us with contact info? Woohoo! Thank you. We know that was a ton of work.
It is live on the dashboard on the links tab.
Live on the dashboard, if anybody needs it. And if you have other contacts you guys want to put on there of people that you love, let us know and we'll add to it. So that is a moving document. So thank you for doing that. Any other bucket fills or success stories? What's good that's happening out there in the real estate world? And I know there's lots.
I have something really good.
Microphone.
Oh, that was my job.
It's okay.
You guys, we have a new awesome title guide.
Oh, yes.
Justin Fry.
Do you want to come up?
Woohoo! Why not?
You have to use a microphone, yes. Okay, you guys, this is Justin from Real Advantage Title, but we're going to let him do a little intro.
We've been trying to get him for a year and a half. This is a huge win. We're so
This is live and in person. He is here.
Well, I'm
Woohoo.
excited to meet all you
Oh,
guys.
I don't think that's on.
well, you won't hear it here. It's just for Zoom.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I'm excited to meet all you guys.
Sorry.
Let's make sure.
I'll be in charge of the mic. You start talking, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. Well, I'm Justin Fry. Like Em just said, recently joined Real Advantage. Been doing escrow for about 8 years. Looking forward to getting to know some of you guys. Know Dave and Kristy already, but yeah, looking forward to meet you guys and happy to be here. Thank you.
awesome. We're excited to have you. Thank you. And just remember, you guys, they have awesome tools. So a farming tool being one of them that you definitely should get with him with and talk to and learn about. So thanks for being here. Okay, anything else, you guys? Any other success stories, bucket fills? Come on, we do some great things around here. Zoomers, do you guys have anything? Anything on chat? No? Okay. Everybody's going to be shy today. It's fine.
Can you tell us real quick how the inventory level's doing out?
Who's got the inventory? Less than Jeff has it. What's the number of inventory out there?
Still really low.
Clint. Oh, that's more than I thought. Do you want to grab that? Give that to him. Sorry. Have to get on the microphone.
Wake up, Kimber.
The question was, what does the inventory look like?
Today I checked what it was, and there was 1,188 active listings all across the Wasatch Front. And 3 days ago, on Friday, I checked, and there was 2,084. So I think those listings that were on Friday probably went all under contract. And
Over the weekend.
I'm seeing that it's kind of starting to bump up, and then it'll go back down. But hopefully it'll keep bumping up, and 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Nice. Good question. Okay, anything else before we move on? Okay, Brock, are you on there? Anybody see him? Brock, are you on? He was in Mexico, but I confirmed he's here today. Do you see him, Kimber, on there? Okay, maybe we'll come back to him. Sure, that'd be awesome. Okay, so next we will move on to our broker moment. So we have Rich coming up. And I also quoted him, his favorite quote is, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." Well, it says it was your personal quote. So.
Who knows? I haven't updated Facebook in 10 years. All right. All right, we'll keep the broker moment short. I know you all saw that email yesterday. There's a reason behind all paperwork, but I just want to be very clear on what we need when we represent buyers. We need the buyer broker agreement. And then on the buyer broker agreement, it states two documents, states wire fraud and buyer due diligence checklist. So those three documents are required for all buyers, and then that new affiliation form. The reason why we included that, we were really, from that email, we're killing three things with one short document. The main thing is probably 8 times a year, people will call me. I didn't know I had to use such and such home warranty or this insurance company or this lender or this title, and they didn't feel like they had that opportunity. So that document's mostly making sure they know they can use whichever professional they want, even though you have some strong recommendations for them. Seller side, it's a whole lot easier, just the listing agreement, MLS exclusion, wire fraud, and that same disclosure. Any other questions that I can answer at this time? Okay, we're good. Thank you.
Nice, thank you. So he did send out that email, so if you need to see what documents he's referring to, double check that. Okay, did anybody get a hold of Brock? Okay. Okay. So just wanted to let you guys know what's happening this week, and this is actually happening today. So Kimber, I don't know if you want to say anything about this. This is a training that Kimber and Nick are going to be doing today, which is our 2021 client outreach program workshop. Bring your laptops in and actually put this into place. Do you want to say anything else about that?
Yeah, so we just asked a lot of agents like what they do to reach out to their clients. And we thought we were going to get answers as far as this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do. And then we could go and create that and implement it for you guys. And a lot of those agents that we asked are like, oh, I need to do that. So none of us are the authority on this apparently. And so we're just going to do it. So we've compiled most of the content. I mean, I would say actually all, you're going to be able to get at least your first few months implemented. 2 hours is short when it comes to doing that. But everyone back in the e-edge days, everyone always said how they always got a couple of deals out of just an email drip, right? Even though email is the lowest form of communication, there's something to be said for all forms. And we just want you guys to not leave anything on the table to get more deals this year. So that's what we're doing.
Awesome. So that is today from 1 to 3 down here in the training room. So if you guys can make it, bring your laptops and come on in. So thank you for putting that together, Kimber. That's going to be awesome. Do you guys realize it's the end of the first quarter already? It's crazy. So this is a really good time to kind of look back and just see, where are you? Are you ready for the next? Are you moving into the next quarter in the place where you should be? If not, this is a great training to come to and continue getting set up. So something to think about. Okay, next we have, we're going to be having our second part of our 4-part with Lee Stern. Did anybody go to the first part in here? Awesome. Are you ready for the second part? We have a no, some yeses. So yes, so I did put a little asterisk on here. Just make sure that you complete your homework, which basically is a listing presentation or a listing packet that needs to be done. If you need help with that, let us know. We can help you get this done. But make sure you go to that. Even if you didn't go to the first one, just do a listing packet and come to the second one. And then just a reminder, our office is closed on Friday in observance for Good Friday. So any questions on these? Okay, awesome. We will welcome up our panel. So we have the Wisers. We have Dave and Kristy Wiser here today. We are so lucky and excited that they're doing this. So thank you. I had to miss the last one, so I'm even like double excited. I don't know if anybody saw them when they came last time, but so just so you guys know, Kristy and David are married. They have 3 beautiful children. They run a hugely successful real estate business, and so they're going to hopefully share how they do that with us today. But they were about 25 million last year in production. I think they're currently number 3 on the list, maybe moving up to 1, I don't know, but somewhere right around the top 3 of the office. So we're, again, super blessed to have them here. So maybe just tell us a little bit more about you guys, like maybe your team structure, what that looks like, how many people are on there, all that fun stuff.
Okay, perfect. So currently I'll kind of talk about Dave and Dave's and my structure. We're married and we started in real estate about 8 years ago. And we started and we both kind of did our own thing. We both had our own clients. We both prospected. We both closed deals. After having 3 kids, we found that it was more difficult to do that and just kind of have spontaneous schedules. So we started splitting our roles. And so since we did that, that's helped us tremendously. And not only did it just help because of being there for our family, but I feel like we divided our roles for more of our passions. So I strictly just lead generate. So I prospect, I set appointments, come up with new ideas, figure out how to execute them. And Dave does the same thing as far as like running the team, but he goes on the appointments. So he goes on the listing presentations and the buyer consultations, and he closes the deals that way, and writes up the contracts. And then we have 2 assistants. We have a transaction coordinator, and then one that also handles our marketing. And then our other assistant kind of handles like odd end tasks. So like, sending flyers or just odd end things that we need to be doing. And then we have 4 agents also on our team, and they are buyer's agents / listing specialists. So we give them leads and they can close the deals. They can close the sell side and the buying side.
Awesome. Awesome. Where would you say most of your leads come from?
So most of our leads actually come from, first are like SOI or severe influence, like people we know, past clients. And then the other part is like online marketing. So like Facebook, Instagram, Google.
Okay. Can you go a little deeper into that, the online
So-
marketing?
I actually don't do it.
Okay.
I have a friend that I used to do it like years ago. And I was doing it by myself for us. And then it was getting too busy. So I had a friend that I knew from a mission that I served. And I kind of told him what I was doing, and he kind of took what I was doing, but then added in what everybody else does already. And he does it now for me. So.
Okay. So just runs ads or
Yeah, he just
what?
runs ads.
Okay.
He just runs ads, and then they come in through any just like command, they come in, the leads come in, and then we have to reach out to them. And I learned that actually from Cody Watts. So that's who I learned how to do online leads from. So we reach out at least 7 times and try to contact them and talk to them. Yeah, that's mostly what we do. Yeah.
Okay. 7 times. So they don't say they want to buy or sell just the first time you call them.
So Kristy does most of this. So let me give it back to her on
Okay.
this one.
Awesome. I'm
yeah.
being facetious because I hear
So
that
what was
a
your
lot.
question also? Like, what was your, what
No,
your
I was
question?
just being a smart aleck. I was just saying, so they don't say that they want to buy or sell like right when you call. So you
Yeah.
have to follow up
Sadly.
7 times.
Sadly, yeah. Gosh, I wish they were easier than that. So we, on all of our ads, whether, we, dip our toes into a lot of different advertising, and no matter what, I feel like we always have a specific call to action on our ads. And most of that is driving them back to our website, because from our website, they can obviously just browse listings and from there sign up. And when they sign up, obviously we get their information and I contact them immediately. I contact them within 3 minutes from signing up. So whatever platform you use to instigate that, or command, or however, I feel like that's extremely essential. And then I just do like a, 6 to 7 targeted action plan from there to make sure that I reach out to them and ask them questions about what their interest was. And from there, I usually get a hold of them and can strike up conversation and nail them down and convert them into an appointment, or task them out and nurture them long-term.
Most of the online stuff, it's not like boom, already they signed up, we're closing a deal in a week or 2. Usually they sign up and Kristy's talking to them for a long period of time. And then at some point they really decide to do something. And since they've been talking to Kristy so long, we meet with them and then we help them buy or sell.
Okay.
So we get both from it. So
Okay, awesome. Do you have an idea of like what your budgets are? I mean, do you guys spend a ton of money on online leads? Do you?
yeah, it's a lot. We spend like $7,000 a month.
Okay,
Is that to pay for the dude who does it or as well, or just that's your actual?
That's what we just spend.
kind of the cost of the
He's
leads.
separate. Yeah. Well, we kind of lucked out. So there's a lot of companies out there that will do this for you. That will be like, oh yeah, I'll get you Facebook leads or online leads or Google leads. And then some of them will charge you, because we actually went with a few before I just tried to figure it out myself because they were terrible. So they will charge you, some will charge you, okay, you'll pay us $3,000 a month and we'll use what we can to market for you. And then you're like, well, how much did I actually spend on leads? And then some of them will just charge you a fee per month and then charge you whatever it is you spend. So I like that structure more, so I know how much I'm giving them for the leads or to do their work. So
Okay. Do you find more success with like Facebook versus Instagram? Do you do any like realtor.com? Like what other sources of online leads are you
I was
using?
actually talking to our team today about that. So realtor.com, Zillow, and those we actually hadn't ever done, and we started doing them and we never had very much. Yeah, we didn't get as many deals as we would hope for how much money it costs. So
Okay. So
Or
mostly
any,
Facebook
really.
and Instagram,
Yeah.
social media
Google
and Google.
and Google, yeah.
Okay.
So about those follow-ups that you do, how many are there calls or you also send?
So,
She asked if they're
We-
doing calls or also sending emails.
oh, okay.
Sorry.
So we used to actually do things. So they sign up and we email, call, and text, and we have them on plans where we will do one after another, all the way up through those contacts.
In those follow-ups, are there all, can you hear me? They're all calls or are there also, is still a mix?
It's a mix. So I actually do, like, when I say that I reach out to them about like 7 times, it's like 7 times in all of it. So I usually do, 6 or 7 emails, 6 or 7 texts, and try to call them that many times too.
Do you guys have any other questions? I mean, I can just keep drilling them, but
You guys do seller leads?
Seller leads. Do you do so?
Like buyer leads?
So we actually just we do both, I guess. So it's just more of we're just looking for people that are looking to buy or sell, or so it's kind of hard to say, like, it's more like we just drive people to look at homes and then we talk to them. So it's a mix. Just generally speaking, I think online leads tend to be more buyers, and especially right now, there's way more buyers than sellers. So you're just gonna naturally run into way more buyers than sellers out there.
I feel like when we've tried to change up our advertising, specifically targeting like seller leads and things like that, ultimately my prospecting, the end that I'm receiving, I feel like it's been kind of the same conversations though. So when we target ads that say like, what's your home worth, or find out the value of your home, or, we have buyers for your property, we do get people, but I still feel like a lot of them were people that didn't, a mix, like people didn't even own a home, but were curious about like, oh, you're talking about buyers, like what's buying like, so yeah, we just try to find a campaign that works for us and that cost per leads are really good. And it's really like drawing a lot of traction. And then we kind of stick with it for a while and we don't fix what's not broke and kind of work on it.
Yeah, and on that, I hear that Command does it at like $2 a lead or something like that, right?
Mhm.
Which is pretty awesome. That's not what we spend. We spend like 8 or 10, sometimes more. So I don't really know. I haven't done command leads. And so, I mean, if you have the opportunity to do those, I would. And then I would just contact them because, I mean, generally speaking, we contact, I mean, every like 150 to 200 people, depending on your skill that sign up, you can kind of get a client out of it. So if you're paying $2 a lead, I mean, potential is there. So.
Another like targeting method is I try to reach out to like every lead depending on like the information that they gave me. So like with web leads, how Dave said, like it could be like 100 people before you like finally like close an appointment. That could include like people that have given you, 25% of people giving you bad numbers, but they did give you their emails. So then if I know that they have a bad number, I'll like just go stronger on the emails and change my content of my emails. So I've closed deals where I didn't even have a phone number, but my emails were like, hey, I tried to reach you, but I noticed I didn't have a number, blah, 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 and I'll just make those emails more specific to them and they'll respond and be like, oh, I'm just looking. And eventually like through forming a relationship, I get a number, so we have a lot of like action plans where depending on that type of lead, depending on where it came from, depending on the information they gave me, I talk to them differently. And so I think that helps spike our conversion quite a bit.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do say? Like maybe if you're on the phone, what the scripting would look like or what your email is looking like when you first respond?
Yeah, I don't have any like emails memorized, but they're pretty similar to just kind of what our scripts say. They're just worded differently. I did bring our scripts because I think that generally speaking, I know we had talked about this earlier, just I guess the script that I most often use, I'm sure a lot of people have heard this, but it's kind of the acronym I follow, but LP MAMA. So location, price, agent, motivation, appointment. So I try to target those topics with those people generally in that order, despite where they came from, whether it was a referral from a friend or a web lead or a Facebook lead or an expired lead. As long as you're covering those same topics, I feel like most people will, you can generally speaking follow this script. I don't know how detail oriented you want me to be in the script. I know last time we did a full-on role play, which we're happy to do again because I know you had
You
mentioned
want a
that.
role play? Yeah. You guys want to see a role play? Lots of yeses.
Dave's like, no. That's why Dave doesn't prospect.
My side's easy. I just like to answer the question. So
Yes.
Yeah,
Obviously,
let's role play.
our role play won't throw in rejections. Because I think that's important. Like, I feel like I have this memorized so well that in the future, like when people do throw in a rejection, now I can address it, handle it, and close it. And I don't really have to like worry about like, oh my gosh, I stumbled. I don't know where I am. Like I asked them for location, I feel like if you don't have like a script memorized, that's the hardest thing. And I feel like that's the biggest thing that like when we first got into this business 8 years ago, Cody Watts actually was like our team lead and he didn't have scripts for us, but he said the same thing and Dave recorded him with a like recorder because it wasn't written down. And since then we've like written down our scripts and tried to have our agents and everybody memorize these because it's just a game changer when you know what you're going to say and you're practicing, behind the
Totally.
scenes, but not on the client.
Mhm.
Really understanding it and internalizing it is what allows you to be able to stick on target and help that.
yeah, for sure. Because if you have the scripts memorized, then it just allows you to respond more quicker because you don't have to think about what you're going to say. It's just, oh, that was that rejection. This is what I say back. And that's important on all aspects, whether it's, when you go on the listing appointment or on the buyer appointments or when you're out talking to them on the phone. And it even works when you're talking to your friends because your friend will be like, oh, I don't want to sell right now because I don't know where I'll go to when I buy. So you have a response for that already, kind of what you've thought about, and then you respond and it helps.
It's true because I feel like I have these scripts memorized enough that sometimes I'll get on a phone call and I'll be like, hi, my name's Kristy. Do I have any questions? I'll go over it with you in a second. But I do my introduction and people right off the bat might throw in what may be a rejection. But as long as I know what my script is, I know how to handle it, address it quickly and move on. So rather than have it throw off like completely our whole phone call, like an example is sometimes I'll call people and they'll be like, well, I'm just looking because I have a home to sell. And so like in this script, I do address sellers like, oh, why are you selling? Are you ready to put are you selling before buying? Things like that. But it's not till like, page 2. And so instead of jumping immediately to that part of the script, sometimes I'll just be like, oh, great. Okay. And then address it as needed and then just continue because L and LP Mama, they still need a location to go. So I'll be like, oh, okay, awesome. So you have a home to sell. So where are you going to next? Like I noticed that you're looking in this. So yeah, we can do the script. If I do sound robotic, it's more just because I want to read it kind of slow in case anybody has questions and I'm nervous.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
Nervous.
You're doing
But
awesome.
generally speaking, like anything, yeah, obviously it doesn't sound like that when you're on the phone. So we're just going to do one as if he signed up for like an ad and was directed to our website. But again, I just changed the introduction based on how I was referred over to them. So it can be changed up as an expired lead or a friend gave me your number and wanted me to call you. So again, Dave just signed up for my Google ad. Is it working?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So I'm calling you. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is David available?
This is him.
Hi, David. This is Kristy with the Wiser Real Estate Team. You had signed up for my website looking at homes for sale, and I just wanted to give you a call and see if there were any that you wanted to look at or had questions about.
Oh yeah. I was just like browsing.
Oh, just browsing?
Yeah.
That's okay. So do you have certain plans for buying a home this year or in the near future at all?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Well, our website comes across every single listing that comes available on the market. So if you do let me know what you're looking for, I can update the homes that we're already sending your way and just make sure that they are at least more relevant for you. I did see that you were looking in Riverton. Is that the area that you're looking to buy in or stay close to?
Yeah, I really like Riverton. I live in Riverton right now, and I would like to stay here.
Okay, awesome. So are you okay with any surrounding cities such as like South Jordan or Harriman or any of those?
Yeah, I'd probably do South Jordan. I don't really want to be out in Harriman, but I
Okay.
mean, maybe if it was a closer part of Harriman,
Okay.
and then like what maybe also Draper. I'd be okay with Draper and Sandy, and
Okay.
that's about it.
Okay, Draper, Sandy, South Jordan, I got it. And what types of properties do you like best? Do you prefer single family homes? Are you open to townhome condo styles?
Probably single family only.
Single
I want a
family?
yard. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. A yard's nice. And
Yeah.
okay, so how many bedrooms and bathrooms do you prefer?
Um, I don't know. We probably need at least like 4.
4 bedrooms?
Yeah.
Okay, 4 bedrooms and 1 or 2 bathrooms.
Oh, 2 baths.
Okay, 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. And I know it may be earlier on in your search, but do you have a good idea of what price range you want to stick within?
Probably under 600,000.
Under 600,000?
Yeah.
Pause. By the way, I feel like that's a loaded question for some people because they don't know what price range, what it means for a payment. So if you get reluctancy and they're like, I don't really know, another way
Like
that I
this.
word that,
I don't know.
then I usually say, yeah, I know it's a complicated question. So where do you feel most comfortable wanting to keep your payments each month?
Oh, like I don't know, 2,500.
Okay, awesome. Because obviously then I have a good idea of what price range that will be in right now until they talk to a lender. So awesome. So Dave, all this information is important. So what I'm going to do now is email you over a link to a new property alert, which will basically allow you to keep updated on any new listings that come on the market that fit your criteria. I have your email as this. Is that still the best one?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. And before I let you go, I was just curious. You had mentioned that you weren't really sure when you want to buy. So do you have any special time frame in mind or?
No, just if the right home pops up.
Oh, okay. And are you currently renting or do you own a home right now?
I do own a home, a
Okay.
townhome.
Okay, awesome. So do you need or want to sell before you buy then, or are you wanting to carry both of those mortgages at the
Oh
same
no,
time?
I don't want to pay 2 mortgages.
Okay, you want to sell? So
Yeah,
then you have it
probably.
memorized and you go to the seller script.
Which she has memorized.
Yeah, but just for the sake of not missing anything. So he has a home that he wants to sell. So, okay, and your house currently isn't on the market, right?
No, it's not, no.
Okay, good for you on having a home already. So just curious, what are the main reasons that you're wanting to sell or move? Are you just looking for a better area or a bigger house or?
I think it'd be nice to have a yard and more space.
A yard and more space?
Yeah.
Awesome. So based on this information that you've given me, is there anything in particular that needs to happen before you can or want to take the next steps of selling then, or anything particular holding you back, or just a matter of finding the right thing?
I feel like I think it will be hard to find the right house.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, obviously, and you want to sell this home before you buy. So knowing what kind of equity you have in this property and what you can sell it for will definitely help you know what your other options are. Is that right?
Yeah, that would help. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So what I would like to do, just with you in the position of getting information and knowing your options, is we can always set up a time where we can sit down and go over your options and a complimentary market analysis, just so that you at least know what type of equity you have to help you make better decisions with your future options. Is that something you would appreciate knowing right now?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. When would you like to meet? Wednesday or Friday?
Friday at 3.
Great.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
They don't say that. They'll never say that.
Yeah. I usually set the appointment-
maybe Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Friday. Okay. How about Friday at 2?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Friday at 2. And then obviously when I hang up the phone, I'll send you that email and a text just to confirm our
Oh, okay.
appointment. What is your address?
It is 123 Banana Street.
Okay, awesome. 123 Banana Street. Okay, great. I have you down for Friday at 3 p.m. I will reach out to you the day before just to confirm that it still works for you and ask you any additional questions that I may not be able to do or find through my research. Sound good?
Great. Yeah.
Great. So on the listing appointments,
Awesome.
Sorry.
Before you move to the listing appointment, can I throw just a couple objections at you, super easy ones that we
Oh
hear
my
all the
gosh.
time?
sure.
It literally is just, I didn't click on anything. That wasn't me. I'm good. I don't need any help.
We don't get that rejection. Just kidding.
No.
say, really?
So it's a bad number,
Well,
essentially,
no,
or
just
no?
when you call, I mean, obviously they've given you an email, they've given you a name. This is what I'm seeing on the command Facebook ads.
Yeah.
So then they'll just say, oh, it wasn't me. I didn't click on it. But you're like, how did I get your phone number? How did I get your stuff? Right.
Yeah, I just say like, well, first of all, I want to like make sure that it's the right person still. So if I call Dave and he's like, I didn't click on
I
anything,
didn't click on anything.
I'll be like, oh, okay. Is this the wrong number or are you Dave? You know?
Yeah, I'm Dave.
Oh, okay. So maybe just follow up with like, okay, were you looking at homes and just because with command,
Keep
can you
going.
see where they were looking? Like have any sort of content or n-
Yes. You know what
Through,
ad you
through,
put other.
yeah, you know what ad they were.
okay. Because
Yeah.
most of the time I'll be like, oh, okay, that's fine. I just had somebody had signed up for our website looking at homes in South Jordan
Riverton.
specifically.
It tells us what cities or what homes they're looking at, and I'm assuming Command does that as well.
Yes, it
So
does.
that's why she said, "Oh, you were looking at homes in blank city, and just want to know if they're any you want to look at."
Yeah.
They're like, oh, "Okay, yeah."
Okay. And if it signed you up and you were unaware, that's fine. So because it had happened, just curious then, so I don't bug you, but I do want to be of help. Do you have plans to, do you have plans to buy or sell in the near future? And I'd probably just shift back right into it. If they are really like reluctant and like, no, it wasn't me, I usually try to end the conversation by getting into questions, and that's why and when. So I'll be like, okay, is there anything particularly holding you up from being able to buy a home or sell a home? Just so I can handle really dig deep and find out their true rejection, whether it be like, I'm nervous about interest rates, or I do want to buy, but I need to wait till my lease is up in 2 months, because at that point I'm like, well, that's not really a rejection. We need to start looking now because of the amount of the time. So but if and then when is like, okay, I probably caught you at a bad time. So, when is better? And you think that you'll be looking into the idea a little bit more serious and seriously. And then if they say like probably summer, then I'll usually just touch base with them in half that time.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Were you going to say? Yes.
Yeah, so you gotta listen, make sure they hear, like, don't ignore that they said they didn't sign up, but say, oh, okay, I'm sorry you didn't sign up. Or even if they're like, oh, this is the wrong person, be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize someone signed up, they gave us the wrong number. And then go into, oh, are you looking to buy or sell? Or
Yeah.
are you thinking about buying a home soon?
Yeah. Yeah. If it's a wrong number, I get a lot of people that are signing up that are like the mom of the kid that's buying. And so I just like address it with the mom like right away. Like, we're happy to help, and CC them on listings. What's their email? Do they have an agent? Oh, I'm sorry. It's
No, you're good.
location, price, motivation, agent. Oh, wait.
No.
Well, reading that like threw me off because I'm like, wait, is that written like location, price, motivation, agent, mortgage, appointment?
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Oops. Okay.
What I was gonna say is, like, when I set the appointment with Dave, I only got his address because I don't want to take like too much time for the phone call, like, and just, you know, exhaust them with asking relentless like question after question. So usually when I set a listing appointment, I just ask for the address, set the appointment, and let them know I'll touch base the day before or the day of to confirm the appointment. And then at that point, I ask them like a handful of like 5 to 10 more pre-qualification questions so that I don't send Dave on like completely a waste of time appointment. But hello.
I also thought it was really good. So you got the address, and then you said how you would follow up if there were questions that you couldn't get on your own.
Mm-hmm.
That you were going to do the research, but also opening the door that, hey, I'm going to be working. There's stuff that I'm going to figure out. I'm putting in the time and the work for you, and there may be things that you need to help me with. So it just kind of is opening that door. It's really great.
Yeah. Yeah. So we usually send that. And then the day before I confirm the appointment, I ask them a list of like a lot more important questions when it comes to like researching their property. Like, how much are they expecting? What are they expecting from an agent? What are the upgrades that we don't know about? Just so that we're not totally caught off guard when we go out to the house. And then I usually send them the marketing presentation via email with like a video before we go out also, just so they have a face to the name, because with Dave and myself, I create a lot of the rapport up front, and then Dave shows up on the appointment. So I found that it's best to just like do a transition, whether it be a video and be like, hey, Dave and Kristy, he's going to come out today. Thanks so much. You know, just because I feel like it takes a little bit of thought to transition to make sure that Dave doesn't show up. Because we've had that happen where Dave shows up and they're like, yeah, he's been catfished.
Like,
Kristy?
Kristy? No, I'm not Kristy. She's my wife though, and that's easy to segue into it. And then we talk a lot, and then then they forget about Kristy completely.
That's awesome.
We capture them with the looks, and then we squish them with the knowledge.
I'll write that down later.
Yeah.
Clint has a question. Kimber, will you run him a microphone? Thanks.
Sorry, I just wanted to touch on how you're transitioning from you being on the phone to him being on the appointment. So you're not telling them like while you're on the phone, like, okay, my husband's going to be meeting you. You're sending them a video saying, hey, Dave's going to meet you, and he's going to be the one you're meeting with.
Sometimes she'll send the video, but typically she actually just tells them like literally the day of the appointment when she confirms it. Oh, hey, my husband Dave's going to be the one that is going to be on the appointment. You'll meet him there. But we actually sit down with all our buyers usually here at the office anyway.
Uh-huh.
So they're planning on coming into the office and meeting me or her. And so it's a meeting. It's not a, oh, hey, Dave's going to come show you homes and you're going to meet this guy.
Okay.
It's usually, hey, we're having a meeting. It's at this time to talk about buying, and
Okay.
Dave's the one who's going to go on it. Or if it's a listing, hey, Dave's my husband or my partner, and he does the appointments, and he's going to be the one that you'll meet.
Okay.
And like, to just in more detail, is most of my script says we, like, so we can do this, or, you know, we. So at the end, then it's not like so alarming that, because I feel like it's been harder to transition in the past where it's like, I can do this, or I can send you up on a market analysis or things like that. So I'll say we, and that script was very like clean, cold cut, as if like there was no additional conversation. Most people, I feel like they start adding things in and kind of telling you about like, I need space for my dog or something. So sometimes like if the conversation's flowing well, I'll just be like, oh yeah, my husband and I work together. So he usually comes out on the appointments. But if it's not addressed, whether it be like a text appointment I'm sending, then usually the day that I confirm it, I'll just be like, hey, just confirming our appointment today at 5 p.m. My husband and I work together. David will meet you at the office. Here's the address again. The only time that I don't address it is like for some reason, if I'm on a phone call with somebody that I really feel like gender is important to them or something, then occasionally I will go on the appointment, which could happen. Like there's been a couple, I mean, I'm not saying for everybody, but there's been a couple where like the wife just got divorced like very recently. And just through our conversation, I've gauged that it's better for me to go. And it has been. So I don't know. I feel like reading into people's personalities is important, even though Dave thinks I'm being like sexist. No.
Oh, hi. Appreciate it. So I have a question. A lot of times when you go out to visit people, I'm sure that they are not 100% sure that they want to do something. They're just kind of thinking it through themselves for the first time. Are they really interested in going out and looking for a house, for example, if they're a buyer? But obviously, your objective, I'm sure, is going to be to try to get a buyer-broker agreement with them. And I'm sure you get pushback when you try to do that with them, like, hey, no, wait, I'm just not ready yet, and you try to work through that. But I mean, how persistent are you with these people on the first visit to try to get them to sign a buyer-broker agreement?
So when I'm really persistent on like making sure they commit to us. I don't like to like be like lackadaisical about it, because we've gotten, spent tons of times with people. Like we had some clients just barely, and we're pretty persistent about it. But for whatever reason, they're these brothers that, I felt like we were connected well. And I was like, yeah, this is great. I'll help these guys out. And we didn't have them sign a buyer broker, and we spent tons of time helping them. And I regret not having them sign the buyer broker, because we spent a lot of time helping them. And we even sent out mailers for a neighborhood they wanted to be in and spent money. And then they ended up just buying a house through some family friend realtor who had a house to sell and just brought it to them before they listed it. And so they bought it and they were really pumped about it. And if they had a signed agreement, then they would have the agent probably would have been like, oh, well, we've got to talk to your agent first. And at least I would have been involved somewhat. Instead, they kind of ghosted us, and we wasted a month and a half. So that happens. And so and every time I kind of like am relaxed about it, something like that happens. And I'm like, wait, this is why I'm pretty strict about it. I even brought it up with them, and they're like, we're not going to sign it today, but we'll talk about it and then we'll sign it later. And I was like, okay, in order to keep helping you, I have to have it signed. And then I didn't send it to them because I thought, okay, they understand that I want them to commit. But there's something about signing a legal document that I think creates commitment in people's mind, even though we've had people that for whatever reason decide they want to get out or whatever. And at that point we let them out. We don't like make people buy with us. We don't make them work with us. It's just more of we want people to commit to us. And so, yes, that's why we have the appointments. If it's not a appointment and it's just, hey, I'm going to meet you at a house to show you a house, that typically is harder to get them to sign a buyer broker, because they're like, we just want to look at this house. I didn't want to sign this agreement. But if we set up an appointment to show them what we do to help them buy a house in today's market, that's where it comes in, is like, you want to work with us to help you get a house right now. This is what we have to do. And if they don't want to do it, we usually don't work with them. We do ours for a year. I say it could take a year, and that's okay. And we do tell our clients, if it does take looking at 100 homes or looking for a year, that's okay. We just want to be the ones that, as you're looking at homes, you call us, we'll show you the house, and we'll write up the offer. And even for sellers, but for sellers, we kind of go at a different, for buyers too, we're really here just to educate them, teach them how to do it. And if they don't want to do something, I'm never going to make them do something. Selling a house or buying a house is way too complicated, way too difficult. Too many emotions are involved to, I think, like force them to do it. And we don't like to build relationships like that. So.
Yeah. So one quick question over here. So you started out saying that on your online ads, you always do a call to action. which I've found is kind of a big thing, finding good calls to action. Are there particular calls to action that you use that you found that you're getting more response off of?
No. No, I mean, our cost per leads it's a little higher than command. So I don't know what they do when they do the ads, but our call to action actually is just, here, go look at these homes on our website. And then they click on our website and we make them sign up immediately. And then people get mad at us. Sometimes they're like, oh, you were making us sign up. And then we say, oh, well, you can sign up. You can put fake information if you want. So.
Follow-up question to that. I've seen some of your ads and I've noticed there's a lot of different locations. So do you guys purposely just pick
Yes.
locations? Like, is your marketer the one that does that, or?
Yeah,
Very
so
strategic about that.
people want to click on things that are related to them. So if you have a city written on there or a subdivision, then they're more likely to do something because if they want to buy a home in Harriman, they want to look at homes in Harriman. They don't want to look at homes in Utah. You know, homes for sale in Utah is not going to get people to look at homes in Harriman. So, I mean, it might. I don't know.
Awesome. Are you good for a couple more questions or are
Yeah.
you tired? Okay. Okay. Got a little yawn over there. It's okay. Okay. So my question, are you guys good with online stuff? We can move on to just one other topic. Any other questions? Okay.
You mentioned that most of the, sorry, I'm a new agent. So. You mentioned that most of the people, you bring them to the office for an appointment. How do you really manage that? Because last week, I run ads in command like 2 times, but what I do, I post stuff on Facebook and that I start conversation with my SOI all the time. So last week I find myself going to different places to 3 appointments. I got the agreement, but how do you guys manage that to bring them to the office? If they're in Utah County, for example.
Yeah, we wouldn't make them come here if it's Utah County. We just typically, if there's someone around here, then we do it here. If we'll do them at the Orem office or at downtown, there's one in Sugar House, or I've met people at Starbucks or, so we just meet somewhere. No, or if they have a house to sell, we meet at their house. Buyers is how we meet here usually. Sellers.
Yeah, occasionally, like the office just doesn't make sense to meet at. And so we will meet at the house if they have a house that they're looking at. Like, oh, I've never had a buyer meet at, their own house. I've just had them meet at somewhere nearest to where they will be. So I usually try for the office because it's pretty central to the highway and Bangor. If they have a house that they wanted to see that was in Farmington or Orem, I'll try for the closest office then for the first time meeting. But if it just doesn't make sense, we will meet. We won't not meet, but if they have like a house that they wanted to see, we would just meet there and then do the buyer consultation. But usually I just present it. Like if they don't have a house to sell, it's just like all in the scripts of asking for the appointment, and they like match up to being ready. They've shared with you what they're looking for. Are willing to talk to a lender and get pre-approved. So they're like, just need to find the house. Then I'll usually set the appointment, and just by wording the scripts that way, just saying like, great, you're in a great position, to buy. Why don't we set up a time where we could sit down for 10 to 15 minutes and go over exactly what it takes to buy a home in today's competitive market and show you what I can do to help you. Does that work? And then last week we had a buyer, she didn't have a house to sell, but she drove up from Orem because she wanted to talk about it. I can say you can wait till you have a house to see and then we can meet then. But usually if they don't know what's going on or the process or just want to meet you, then sometimes location doesn't matter as much. But
Awesome. Okay, so let's bring this full circle. So lead generation obviously is the most important, starts the deal. How is the market for you guys right now? How are you handling that? How are listing appointments? How many offers are you writing on the buyers? How are you getting them under contract? What about on this?
Yeah. It's the same for everybody. We're all in it together. I don't think it's easy for anybody. So I think, so going back to like appointments, yeah, we're still going on appointments. Buyers are still there. Sellers are popping up. It's just getting the sellers on list, getting them to get list because they may have a home to they want to find a home to buy. And then on top of that, buyers, the same thing for us, the buyers we're working with. It's really competitive. We wrote 3 offers this weekend and none of them got accepted. They weren't bad offers, over list, non-refundable earnest money, X amount over appraisal, all of it. And we didn't get any of them. So it is what it is for everybody, I think, right now. I think we just obviously need more listings. 1,800 is not enough listings. We need like 7,000 at least.
I was gonna say, as far as like buyers and sellers, I feel like a couple of things that I feel like have been essential is also actually it's been pretty good to have the consultation before, because then you can set expectations. Because I mean, we probably all had it like where you've been blamed as the agent for not helping them find a house, but it's just the market. So I feel like as long as you can set expectations for them and have that conversation and transparency with them, then that's been something that we've tweaked a little bit more, like letting them know, like, do not be discouraged. I told my buyer yesterday, like on average 7 to 10 offers before you get one accepted. So, I mean, she's like sad, but her text back was, okay, let's just write 6 offers tomorrow on random homes, So like, at least they know that it's happening to everybody and the inventory is really low. And yeah, and then there's been a couple of times where my buyers like only have Fridays available, but they've sent me the home on Monday. So we've done video tours from them and just been like, no, it's not going to be there anymore. So we have to video tour for you. So there's been a couple of things that we've changed, but it's still really difficult.
Okay. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions?
Do you do any of your presentations online, like Zoom? I'm sorry, I wasn't even thinking. Do you do some of your meetings via Zoom with your clients? I know it's always best to meet them in person, but I'm just wondering how many you're resorting to doing them that way, and if you're being successful with that.
Yeah, we do Zoom calls, and it completely depends on the person. So, yeah, we've had success with Zoom. It's still just like going and meeting them. I guess there's not the personal one-on-one interaction, but what we do is you still email them the information, the listing stuff, so they can look at it while you're going over it, and you just talk to them. And then I email them I DocuSign the agreements over to them right then, whether they say yes or no. I sent them to you already, and so we just need that, and we can get started, and that's how we usually close. But yeah, we do Zoom. I think we did Zoom even before all the pandemic stuff, because you're gonna have out-of-state buyers or sellers, out-of-state sellers that have a rental, and so we've been doing it that way.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate your time. Let's give them a
Thank
round of
you.
applause. Thank you. Okay. Okay, you guys have a fantastic.
Sorry, one more question.
Oh, just kidding.
You said, do you only market your own listings? I guess the question is probably more related to how you do your Facebook ads.
So on Facebook, when you put a post up of your website or a landing page, it actually like pulls pictures from your landing page. So it's just like a random photo from the page. Yeah, like I don't know if you've ever noticed that when you post listings or post things, it pulls random pictures from wherever it's at. So that's all we do, which is random photos. So we just post the hot page and then it pulls it. I don't know. So
it's not necessarily just your listing. Sounds like.
well, we're not advertising a specific house.
Oh,
It's a location.
okay.
Yeah.
So if they like look at Taylorsville, we just pre-populate to send them to a link that's only Taylorsville homes.
Yeah, we're not like posting someone's listing, be like, hey, buy this listing. We're like, hey, there's homes for sale in Riverton. Here's a bunch of listings.
Which I will just say, I stalk a lot of like agents and Facebook ads and dig into that. And I would say that that niche or that focus on location, I think is a really smart strategy. Yeah, like why you just said.
Yeah. I mean, it
There
does
you
drive
go.
business. Sometimes I'm like wanting to pull some Pinterest photo off. I'm like, it's like,
Because it randomly pulls photos. Like sometimes it's like a really ugly photo. Sometimes you're like, oh well. So but it is, we're just doing the area. And so it's homes from the area and it just pulls like it just, I don't know. That's how Facebook pulls data. I don't know. That's what it does for the stock photo.
yeah, exactly. Like, so if you go on and put any link, like if you send them back to, yeah, web,
Like when we post our homepage on something, it pulls like our main photo. I don't know. Anyway,
It's like, it's called hero images. I don't know all the details of
Yeah.
why, but yeah, it's how like the website's coded.
and we just let our advertising guy do his thing too. So
Cool.
thanks.
Okay, thanks you guys. We appreciate it. Thank you.